I think I got you. All right, what's good, everybody, man? I told y'all we're gonna crank this off, and I've been asking people for names for the new podcast, trying to come up with something, and I've thought of a lot of different names. I took advice of everybody else, and I'm gonna go with Everyone Has a Voice. It's gonna be the name of this podcast. Everyone Has a Voice, and today we're gonna have man none other than Miss Vanessa Simmons, somebody man that I know and love. Somebody that's been a part of my life, my family life, and we're gonna get into everything. We're gonna touch a lot of topics, and let her tell her story, her truth, and that's where we're gonna go. So y'all just bear with me, and I'm gonna bring her on stage now. What's good, Vanessa?
Hey, what's up, Los? What's up? What's up? I'm so
Man,
happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here. You couldn't have picked um, a better time, a better voice for the community of Clarksville, for the community of the addicts still seeking help, and those that don't know how to seek help. So I'm very happy to be here.
definitely,
To
man.
start off. I ain't gonna put Carlos up, but my name is Vanessa. A lot of people call me V. A lot of people call me Trouble. A lot of people call me the Booster. Um, they called me a lot of things in Clarksville, Tennessee, from the year 2002 until the year 2019. That's a long time, man. And it
Definitely.
started it started before that with my baby Papoose. It started in the 90s with him. I moved to Clarksville, Tennessee, and I was on a journey of getting my life together, moving from Illinois. So I'm just happy to be here.
Definitely. We glad to have you. And I think the first time I met you, I was driving for Pap. And I think we came over there on Lafayette. We was going to Dixon. And I remember picking you up in the car, man. I think me and Pap told me to go pick you up. And I believe that's the very first time I met you. I might have been 16, 17, 18,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. I was young, but I do recall the first time I ever met you. And,
Yes.
at the time, I think you might have been, I don't know if you was in college or
I
you was,
was. I was
you
in
was in
college.
college.
I went to.
Okay.
It was called Drones at the time. I was at Drones College. 92, 93. I was at Drones, and I graduated actually from Drones. That was my second degree. Not knowing how life was gonna lead me down the line. So yeah, that is exactly. I lived off of Lafayette, right past the church,
Yep.
and you picked me up. I was going, around with him, and we had little tea with us. Yeah, I
Hmm.
remember that like it was yesterday. It started after I finally got my license and stuff together. He still had people driving him, and
Yep.
I'm driving him, and I'm going out, and I'm partying. And back in the day, and that's when Shortcake was alive, if you remember.
Yeah.
Um, he was alive. That was the crew, Edward Montgomery, all of them, and that's who I hung around all the time. I hung around Veronica, Stephanie Shanklin, all of them that were party people for me. And me and Stephanie went to drones together. I don't remember if Stephanie finished graduated, but I know I graduated in '93. May of '93, I graduated. Came
Man,
out with an accounting degree and didn't look back then. That's before Papa went to the feds in '94. So yeah, that was a wonderful time in my life. My kids were small. I hadn't started dipping and dabbing yet. I waited until I went back to Illinois. That's where I started the journey of
hold on,
drugs.
before we jump into that, because I'm gonna get
Okay,
to that. I'm gonna get to that.
okay.
How did you? Okay,
You froze.
Uncle Jerome Kelly. How did
Your camera freezing.
you? Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
For some reason it's freezing up. One second. Yeah, moving, so it ain't mine. Can
Okay,
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Go out and come back in.
Okay,
Okay.
you want me? You gonna take me out?
Again.
Who is that? Y'all can see me. Good girl gone bad.
Vanessa,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened, y'all. I apologize. Some kind of way, mine might have went out, hers might have went out. But
Okay.
but we back now. We gonna get jump right back into it. I ain't gonna worry about it. I can always edit it. But how did you meet Jerome Kelly, my uncle Pat?
Mm. I met Jerome dancing.
Okay, okay.
I was a dancer down at the bottom. Robert Vance was over it. Um, I started dancing. I lived actually I lived in Summit Heights when I hooked up with him, and it just was first a sugar daddy thing because I had
Yeah.
my kid's daddy was in Clarksville, but he was on drugs himself, so I didn't, I wasn't paying no attention to it. And every time I go down to the bottom, I always was looking for the man in the wheelchair
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because he was a good tipper. He was sweet to me. He was nice to me. He made sure I got home. So all things ended up where my ex husband. Well, actually, we weren't married yet. We got married in Tennessee in '93. So as Pap was going back and forth down to what was it called? Where did he get called at?
you talking about Paris?
Paris. Yeah.
Yeah,
Before he got caught in Paris, um I was the driver all the time. Actually, I was with him
yeah,
when he got um when he got caught. So I was the driver. He took everything off of me. And from that day forth, then he went back to Illinois, and it was me and him forever.
yeah, 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 definitely.
So
And
that was the thing. He used to sit in the projects. I used to go up to him and ask him for money and make sure he picked me up at nighttime to take me wherever we was going when he got through with the streets. So he became my so to speak, not no sugar daddy, and he became my boyfriend. He
yeah,
became my boyfriend. I looked up to him. He was everything to me. I was 22 years old. And when he left, he didn't want me to stay in Clarksville. So he sent me to Tennessee. I mean, back to Illinois. I went back to Illinois, but from 90, about the end of 91 to 93, when he got caught, because he left in April 94.
yeah,
Um, from that day forward, we were two peas in a pod. I mean, from when I went back to Chicago, Riri and Kinley, Riri was my best friend. Let me tell y'all this. That was my best friend when I was in Chicago. The kids were small. I loved the kids. I loved mama. And I went back to Chicago and I met crack cocaine. When I
so
met
that's
crack
where it started.
cocaine, huh?
So when you, because I know all the time when I was younger, knowing you and stuff, you was always clean. I never knew you to mess with drugs, and
Yeah.
like you said, when you came, so when you went to Chicago, that's where it all started at.
Yeah. It started in Chicago with my kid's father at ET. Um, Jerome was gone. I knew he was going to be gone for 85% of 10 years. I still, loved him. I still talk to Riri. I still talk to um, Kim Lee. Pat made sure I had everything in life in Chicago when he was locked up. But I had everything until I got on drugs. When I got on drugs, my mom told Jerome, she's on that stuff.
Yeah,
I got on that stuff, and this is crazy how you thinking about it. So from '93, he left in '94. I left December '93. He left in '94. I got on drugs in 2000. He was
mm,
due to be released in 2001.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
from '94 until the beginning of 2000, I was still clean and sober. I had another degree. I bought me a house. My first house cost me $369,000 by myself. I
mm,
worked, I took care of my kids, and I was introduced to crack cocaine by my ex husband. And I didn't look back, but I did. I went to the rehab before he got out, before Jerome got out. I went to the rehab, and by the end of 2001, I asked him, please send for me because I'm on drugs. He
yeah,
was like, you on what? Man, why you let that man, and a lot of people don't who know pal. Why you let that man do you like that? And I was like, I don't know. Just sing for me. Just sing for me. So I was 30 years old when I first started cracking crack. Um, I wasn't no perfect child. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I did powder and everything.
mm,
But it never took control over my life. So, but that crack, baby,
mm,
I had to run from it. So I was in the rehab in 2000. Me and my girls I'm a lot of y'all know Michael Fields, Peanut Fields, all y'all know my son, Sean. So Sean was with his parents, so I just had my two girls. So we came back to Tennessee. First thing we did was living in that back room, in Papoose room. I
Yeah.
stayed there. Um, when I got on crack, I call them my Kelly family all the time. Always gonna be my Kelly family, but they treated me different now that I
Mm-hmm.
was on drugs because I still was on drugs, and my old man sold drugs, so I had the drugs. I didn't have to ask, you know what I'm saying? I had to ask for nothing, nothing. I had crumb packs. I had everything I needed, and he was my enabler because he didn't want me in the streets,
Yeah.
and it progressed, period. It progressed every day of my life. And even I'm 5 years clean now. Even before he left, he was an enabler.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to me. He didn't want me to come back. He was like, "You're doing too good. Please don't come back. I love you." And I had to wake up myself. Nobody could change me. Mama's death couldn't change me. Sarah Kelly.
Yeah.
Cat's life couldn't change me. Kimberly life couldn't change me because they changed all. And I'm saying this, and I'm very sentimental when it comes to him. So I'm sorry, y'all, but that changed him. His mama's death. So with him being an enabler for me, he couldn't be all the way because he wasn't all the way himself. So
Right.
y'all got to realize when a person is in your life and they love you, they can't stop loving you, but they can't give you the same love that they used to give you. Because I
Mm-hmm.
used to have all of him. So and when his mom died, then his sister died, then his first brother died, it was a lot taken away from him. So he couldn't give me everything that I needed, you know. And my kids was grown. So in my life, I used to do everything. I hold nothing back because
Yeah.
that drug will take you everywhere, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that you don't want to be because you're not yourself, but you don't know how to surrender. Because that was that was the only rehab I ever been to. It was the one in 2001 when I left and
Right.
came there. So to me, he was my rehab.
Yeah.
Staying in the house with him, going to sleep, being in the house 3 or 4 days, then I think I'm all right. I'm cool. I'm cool
Yeah.
because this had never happened to Vanessa
Yeah.
until, you know what I'm saying, to 2000. 2000. I closed on my house in 99. I got on crack in June of 2000. He got out December of 2001. So all that time, and I don't know if y'all know, but Chicago will eat you up and spit you out. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere will, but I know in Chicago, they ain't care about your type of drug, sucking no dick. You gonna suck dick while you got a gun to your head and everything. So I have been through so much before he even came home.
Yeah.
So my my level of using crack was far gone more than people in Tennessee because it was in Chicago.
Right.
When I got to Chicago, it was like, oh, I'm in heaven now. This ain't nothing, you know. But like I said, every time a part of him left, which was a part of his family, that the love left for me because he had more and more and more and more and more. He's always been provider of the family.
Let me
Have
ask you a question.
mm-hmm.
Uh, what changed when you came? You said earlier when you came back how things changed, but I ain't talking about Pap. I'm talking about with the family. What did you notice the change about the way that they treated you?
About the Kellys.
Yeah, like what changed for you as far as you
Man,
said
I wasn't a Vanessa before. I wasn't the same Vanessa. I
yeah,
mean, Riri treated me different from the time I got back. When I got back, you ain't the Vanessa I knew.
yeah,
So the love that she had for me before knowing that I was on drugs, it stopped. It was like, oh yeah, that's Vanessa. And then you got to look at family too. How could you do my brother like that?
Yeah.
How could you get on drugs? How could you take money from him? It was stuff that I really didn't have a choice to do,
Right.
but I had a choice. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't
Yeah.
choose that choice. So, Kenley, Ken Lee really didn't know me. He knew of me because he
Yeah.
wasn't around. He was locked up and stuff.
Right.
But he did what his brother asked him to do: take care of Vanessa, give
Yeah.
Vanessa this, bring Vanessa that. But they really didn't like me. They didn't like that Vanessa. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about, how they treated me. Because me and, like I said, me and Riri was like this. That was my dog. But when
Yeah.
I came to Tennessee, it was like, you ain't shit, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was the truth to her. But I couldn't I couldn't tell her, yeah, you right, because she wasn't right, because I did love him and I
Yeah.
did love the drug. But a person that's mixed up and crazy in the head don't get no fuck, excuse my French, y'all,
You
but
okay?
they don't get no fuck about life. They ain't
Right.
thinking about it like that. Everything is all copacetic. But
And,
you
and you know
know,
what's crazy? Not cutting. I know without a doubt that you love my uncle. I know you love him. But somebody that's been where you've been, I know that you can love something,
oh
but the
wow,
drugs can be something that it'll the drugs will take you places that you never never been in life. And even when you love somebody, it'll still make you do things to that person that you wouldn't normally do if you wasn't on drugs. You understand what I'm
right,
saying? So I understand that part of it, and I think a lot of people understand that if you've been where we've been. So I definitely know that you love Pap, and I knew Pap loved you. And like I said today, we're gonna like a lot of questions. Like, okay, your husband now, and
uh-huh.
I
I
want to
don't
tell
know
you
where
first and
my picture
foremost.
went.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, some kind of way your camera went off. I can't
Yeah.
see. Okay. First and foremost, man, I'm just really proud of the woman you became, because the potential has always been there, and I know who you are. So people have all like said like, well, okay, where did Vanessa meet her husband? How did she get married so fast after Pap died? So to that, what do you say?
Pap knew about him.
Okay,
So,
right. I know the answer to these questions. I'm just
yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
yeah,
He sent me back to Chicago a couple of times. Go on back to that nigga you been with, this, that, and the other. For y'all don't know. And the truth is, intimacy, me and Pap was intimate in our own way.
yeah,
But he knew a woman needs more, so to speak. So, we went through things. I mean, in life, as a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people might know. Pap was a freak, point blank, period. So, if I wanted something, he got it for me. If he couldn't give it to me, he send me away. So that's just it's just that it was that on that. And
yeah,
I'm a woman of God, and I know the truth. I knew I was wrong. He knew he was wrong, but it happened like that.
yeah.
My husband today, y'all, I've been knowing since fifth grade. He lived down the street.
Hmm.
We dated in high school, and then we ain't never date no more. So we got grown. I knew he was smoking crack. He knew I was smoking crack.
Yeah,
Bingo. So that's where that came from. But he got clean, and I got clean, and the Lord restored everything in me that was in me that I didn't know that was in me. So that's how that happened. And when that happened, I was just grateful. I was grateful. It took a lot in me. Pap was an addict when I left. Um, he became an addict. I know how he became an addict, y'all. He became an addict to get rid of his problems, to not think about. He still was trying to take care of his family and all that, but not to think about it, not to worry about it, not to worry about which bill gonna be paid or who gonna need a bill paid, because he was the breadwinner for the Kelly family, not just for his family, which was me and Jerry, or Jerry wasn't even there yet, which was me and Riri staying at the house or whoever, because Jerry hadn't even left Plum Street. But he with the the things that were on him, he took the pills. So don't think he was just an addict. He was an addict to get rid of all the pain and misery that he was going through. That's why he became an addict. And he would never down nobody when they was an addict. I don't care if it was pills, um, weed, whatever. He tried to help everybody, and that's what made me a couple of times not. I never come back for the crack cocaine because I was a booster in
Yeah,
Chicago and in Tennessee, so I could get my own period, but the love of a person is the reason I came back,
yeah,
because I knew it would work some type of way. Some type of way I was going to get off drugs. I was going to stop going to jail. I was going to raise my kids, and I was going to become that person that I was supposed to be for them. But it didn't work out like that. God um, took him away from here first.
yeah,
Carlos was supposed to bring him to Texas
yeah,
and all that, but God saw fit for a person that was struggling not to struggle anymore. And in 2019, June, Kenley passed.
yeah. And
And
man, not cutting you off, it just going back thinking about Pap and me and him supposed to come to Texas. And at the time, I couldn't have made it to Texas because of my addiction. And Pap, he knew that, he knew that I wasn't like in my, I just wasn't gonna be able to go down there without the drugs and be able to, come and see you and be okay or
yeah,
whatever. And he
yeah,
thought about that, and it kind of probably prolonged. Had I probably been straight, we probably could have got there a lot quicker and giving y'all the opportunity to see each other at that moment.
yeah,
And I just think about the stuff you told me because I was going back in my mind, and I remember when everything happened with Kenley and Pap getting the money or whatever, and you telling me Pap said the only thing he regretted was not giving me any money or something, and that
yeah,
didn't mean nothing to me. I didn't care about the money. I love my uncle.
yeah, yeah,
I never cared about what he could give me. It was just for me to be an honor to be around him because I had that type of love for him.
right,
I miss him like you miss him. I know, what I'm saying. Pat was a strong individual, and he was gonna always be honest with you. So those were some of the things that I truly miss about my uncle, man. Just the
hmm
honesty. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in a wheelchair, but the respect that
had
he had,
man,
but
yeah,
the
he
people
did,
had for him, man, it's just different. It's hard to explain. But people, you know what I'm saying, he was sitting down, but people always looked up to him. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's that, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I be riding down the street sometime, and some of his songs come on, and
yeah,
it still bothers me today that I didn't get a chance to see him. But I know he's not suffering no more. So life goes on, and I know he will be so proud of me.
yeah,
Um, it took a lot for me to leave 378 Treeland in 2020. I left March the 19th, and I looked in the mirror and I said, "No more, God, no more." I hadn't smoked no crack in 5 days, and I looked in the mirror and I could see straight through myself. I could see everything that the old Vanessa, but it was like an image of an old woman, but a new woman, and I can't explain it. And I looked at him and Riri said, "Oh, you'll be back." I said, "No, I won't, Riri, not this time." And then they said the same thing, and the two people closest to him um being around him every day. But I looked at him and he said, "Sugar baby, you'll be back." I said, "No, I won't be back this time. You'll be wherever I am." And I moved and I was talking to him every day. But to say that is you got to surrender yourself. Nobody, I ain't going to even say Jesus Christ because he's in spirit, but you got to have it in yourself to surrender, or else you're going to still be on that journey of I'm going to get clean, I'm going to get clean, I'm going to get clean, I'm going to get clean. Until you have that authority, and it is authority, of saying that I don't want to use no more. That's why I'm glad you turn this to Good Girl Gone Bad. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. I went from sugar to shit, from shit to sugar.
That's right.
Um, who would know, or who would even think that the Vanessa they knew? Because a lot of people don't know me like you, Kevin. Carlos.
Yeah.
They don't know that I bought houses before. They just think I was a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? But I had before.
Yeah.
So I went from sugar to shit from 2002 to 2019. And that's what I say 14 years of my life using, besides 3 of them going to Montgomery County, or from going to Richardson Street um, rehab. Who does that?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I surrendered, and I prayed to God, and I didn't need a rehab. Some people need it, and some people do. Some people don't. So I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna tell nobody don't go to rehab, because rehab, even in 2000, helped me. Some of the strategies I used, because I use this a lot. I use this a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
use this a lot in my everyday life, because without it, there's no me.
Yeah.
So when I woke up, I got on a plane. I went to Texas. I went through withdrawal, because I was on the perks bad with Pap for 5 days. I hadn't smoked no crack in 5 days, so I was taking 3 to 5 pills a day. Like
Yeah.
Jerome, he take 5 at one time, but I was taking 3 to 5 a day for 5 days. So y'all know I was hooked then, and don't nobody know about that pill. That right there, that ain't. And so I I never had no withdrawal from crack.
Yeah.
I'll take me a Flexeril or gabapentin and go to sleep. But
Yeah.
from them pills, my son held me for 6 days straight. I begged him. I had $3,000 something dollars in my pocket. I said, "Send me back to Pap. Send me back to Pap. Send me back to Pap." But he didn't. He held me. I went through that withdrawal for 6 days, and I ain't looked back since. And I want everybody to know, unless you do it yourself, because nobody can do it for you. No, that I'm talking about all the what Charmise tell me. My daughter tried to tell me I'm trying to do on her when you're trying to help somebody.
So we
Um,
trying, you tell you said we trying to help somebody
yeah, when you do intervention.
intervention.
And no intervention is gonna help nothing. When you want to use, you want to use. Period. I went through it with Riri. I went through it with Kim Lee. I went through it with Mama Sarah. Mama Sarah used to give me two a day.
Yeah.
So I went through all them people. Huh? Okay. So unless you want to, you need the money, baby. You got the money. Okay. Unless you want to stop yourself. Excuse me. Um, unless you want to stop yourself, it's programs out there
Yeah.
that can
Yeah.
help you.
And you
It's
know what's
it's
crazy?
and
Nobody, like you said, something that people not gonna never really, understand unless they're on drugs and they get to that point. You can't do it for your kids. You can't do it for nobody. You got to want it for yourself.
for yourself.
Because all the time I was out there, I never, thought about nothing but getting high. And once I realized, people were telling me all the time, my mama, she crying, my brother crying, everybody wanted it for me, but I ain't want it
Pap
for myself.
got his hands in his head. Oh no,
Yeah,
Bubba Carlos. All the man.
man.
I could tell you a lot of times in that room with that door closed, how he talked about you, how
Mm,
he talked about Riri on the pills, how
yeah,
he talked about everybody. And I was like, babe, you can't worry about everybody else, but he did. So I understand what you're
No, he
saying,
didn't.
man. But it can't, like you said, and that ain't gonna help
No, it's not.
until, man. Like I was telling you, that man will be so proud of you and your
Appreciate it.
accomplishments, Don. Man, and them jaws, man, because you know how he pinch jaws.
Yeah,
So I encourage you to keep doing exactly what you're doing. Keep helping people, reaching out. I'm gonna tell anybody if they want to reach out to me. I got a whole bunch of hookups in Nashville.
yeah,
I'm talking about the women. I've tried
yeah,
to help some women already. I ain't gonna call their name out.
hmm,
Anonymity is very important, but
yes,
when they want help, I'm here to assist them. I'm
definitely,
here to give the 12 steps of recovery and the 12 steps of the Bible all
definitely.
the time because that's how I live. Um, who would have thought I would have bought a $500,000 house?
Man, in the house, your house is beautiful. I've
Thank you
seen it.
so much.
Yeah,
And
it's beautiful.
this is my second year, and it's big. I'm by myself now. My husband and his son is here, but Tiara has left, got her own place. But it's just, I'm just so grateful to God that I got through to get through. Because
Let me
sometimes you got to go through to get through, period.
so do
You
now.
know what I'm
You
saying?
know before you left. Uh, like I said, I know the answers to all these questions that I asked you. Like you know everything, all the turmoil and all the stuff about you both and having an extra account or taking money when. So I know the story from you, and I've talked to you, so I already know
Mhm.
the answers. But I know that really hurt you once you hear people trying to say everything that was said. Because
Yeah.
we've talked. I mean, so
I'm
how
a,
did that make? How did it make you feel when you was accused of running off with insurance money and all that?
well, you know what? I'm going to say this because I ain't holding nothing back. I got every dime he got
Yeah,
for him. I mean, from Kinley dying,
yeah,
from me filling out every paperwork because nobody did it but me,
right.
getting that first amount, and every time I asked him for something, he gave it to me. Every time I asked him for
Yeah,
something, he gave it to me. I ain't never had to steal nothing. One time, I went to check advance. One time,
yeah.
and I tried to cash a check for $104. And
Okay.
they called the phone,
Yeah.
and then they answered me. That's what started the rumor.
Oh,
But that was one time. But how I feel about that, Carlos, now I know it wasn't true.
yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you this though. I wish the second time when we got the 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 second amount for
Yeah.
unexpected death, I wish I had took half of it.
Mm.
I do, because for them to think that I was, even Ricky went through all the accounts, and I was like, go through them. I don't care if y'all go through them, because for real, that second amount that he
Yeah.
got, I was supposed to get 25,000
Right.
because I did all of that work. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. He gave me money. I had $7,000. I used it on dope.
Yeah.
Kruger got all that money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never had nothing. I was you supposed to give me some money to buy a car. AK stole that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I still got the check in my photos on my phone that say Anthony Atkins. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying it.
Mm.
Anthony Atkins, 3,500 that he never gave Pat back before he passed away. That was the only money that I had wrote a check. The other checks I had wrote were to his children, Kinley's children, because all of them didn't get the same amount of money that they got the first time. So
Right.
he was giving it to him the second time. But it hurt me. It hurt me. But what can I expect? I was on drugs.
Yeah.
So now it don't hurt me at all
Right.
because everything, even toward the end of the last 2 years of our life together, when I got something, he got something, or them
Yeah.
grandkids got something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't never nothing. Then I would do stuff for the family all the time too. I didn't care as long as Jerome was happy. I was happy. As long as I was sitting at them houses, piddling, trying to figure out how I'm gonna get to the next store, I was happy. And see, I wasn't the type of person. I wasn't a vengeance person.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? Even me and you, Carlos, in
Yeah.
your addiction, we was planning to go to the store. What we got to do today?
Yep.
What we gonna
Yep.
do today? You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And then what I didn't understand is why you mad? Cause we sick.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You mad cause
Right.
we sick, but we comes up, man. Cause you know, if you going there, or if I go in there, or if you at the car, or I'm at the wheel, man, we had it together,
Yeah.
and it's sad that family hated that we were on top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now I look at it, I just say they was sick too because they was mad. Period. Cause if we got more than them, whether it was pills, whether it was merch, whether what it was, they was
Yeah.
mad because they were sick too. So to God
Definitely.
be the glory. If
To God
it,
be the glory.
yeah,
And outside of me, have you been able to, because me and you, well, it was never a relationship to me and between me and you, but
right.
I'm talking about like far as family, the Kellys, have you been able to mend any of those relationships?
Me and Nene, um, we talked now.
Okay.
She said how much she missed me. Stacy was over there about 2 months ago, and I asked why was my picture off the wall.
Yeah.
Well, why do I think it's off the wall? When he died, I died.
Man.
Just point blank. And then I'm gonna put it back up there.
That
It's
that
like,
that, that that's rough right there.
yeah, I said it's okay. I said he's gone. I'm gone. I'm always gonna love you. I have a relationship with Nitra every now and again. I talk.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to get Pap a tombstone. Some things happened with my house. I
Yeah.
had to get a couple of things fixed. But my word to you, like it is to Nietzsche, by the spring he'll have one.
Yeah.
I've been going through a lot of health issues, clean and sober.
Yeah.
Nobody knew I'm a diabetic. I
Mm.
didn't take no medicine when I was using it. So I've lost a little bit of my sight. I have had 100% blockage in my left leg. I had surgery Tuesday. They put 2 stents in my leg.
Man.
On the 7th, I have the 40% blockage from my right. And to top it off, y'all, November 30th, I had 3 strokes. To
Oh
God be
man.
the glory. I'm talking.
Definitely.
I'm walking. I got a physical therapist that comes once a week now. She was coming 3 times. This happened November 30th. I don't know if none of y'all know, but I'm a go getter, man. I don't stop, won't stop, can't stop. So while I was having a stroke on November 30th, I was with my grandchildren and we were at Burlington Coat Factory and I was buying them some coats and I couldn't talk. So they ran and got my daughter and she took me home and I was on my way to bed and all of a sudden all my mobility stopped. So I was standing in the middle of the floor like I couldn't get it out. So my husband jumped up and he was like, "You got to go to the hospital." And they took me to the hospital and I had
Yeah.
3 strokes on my brain. And to God be the glory. Hallelujah.
Man.
Thank you,
Definitely. To
Jesus.
God be the
And I want to um, go to the Bible before I
glory.
get out of here, Carlos.
Go ahead. Go
And
ahead.
it's it's the law. It's the law. And I don't know if nobody knows what the law is, but it's the royal law. And it's the 10 Commandments. So if anybody ever want to know God's commandments, and don't say these are done away with because we're under grace. Yes, we're under grace, but God did not do away with any of his commandments.
Right.
So Exodus 20th and verses 1 through 17 says, and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me, none. Thou shalt not make any unto thee any graven images. Graven images are crosses, everybody, crosses, or any graven images, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thou thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless and take his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. So that's why when Carlos called me today, I was going to be on here earlier. I keep the Sabbath. My household keeps the Sabbath. If you in here, you keeping the Sabbath. So I keep the Sabbath on Saturdays. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. So in 6 days, y'all, I do what I want to do,
Right.
when I want to do it. But on the seventh day, which I call, and which the Bible, King James Version, calls the Sabbath, Friday when the sun go down to Saturday when the sun go down. In
Right.
it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within the gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and he hallowed it. Honor thy mother, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, thou nor his maidservant or his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. So I always read that, and I read Psalms and Proverbs every day.
Definitely.
I try to study the Bible to show myself approved. I don't care what nobody think about me today.
That's
Period.
it.
Because you made that post, you
Yeah.
sure did, and I chimed in on it because I put myself through a lot of hell. So I'll be damned. And
Right.
cursing is not a sin. Sin is transgression of the law. Drinking is not a sin. It's
Yeah.
transgression of the law. So
Right.
a lot of people say, even though I don't drink, I don't even drink wine anymore, but I
Yeah.
smoke my little vapes, but that's all.
Yeah.
But as far as my Kelly family, I love each and every one of y'all. Another thing I want to say, y'all was dead ass wrong for putting me as a friend in his obituary.
Mm.
I gotta say that.
Ain't no wrong. Speak your
That
truth.
that right there
Yeah.
hurt me to the core because I knew how I felt about my baby.
Yeah.
I knew how much I loved him, and I knew how much he loved me. But Walter fixed it in the funeral. But for someone to put me as a friend for 26 years,
Yeah.
it hurt me. But I mean, we get over everything, but that hurt me. That really hurt me because I never did anything to deserve that. You know, I did some crazy shit, but it ain't nothing crazier that he didn't do. And I'm talking about the tricking. I'm talking about everything.
Yeah.
That me and that man tricked together whenever you
Yeah.
get through. You know, a lot of people didn't know that. So Carlos, I thank you for
Thank you. For real.
everything. Yeah. And I'm glad to see y'all. Especially I ain't gotta see y'all ain't gotta see my picture.
Yeah,
On Montgomery County, y'all ain't gonna see me on Clarksville now. All y'all gonna see is me following the word of God and trying to help the addict that wants to be helped. Period. You gotta want to help.
definitely, definitely. Hey, we finna end this. I'm getting ready to go spend a little time. My little boy play with him. I love
Okay.
you. And guess what? We're gonna do it again.
Okay. I love you too, Carlos. Peace.
Peace. I'm out. We
Bye
out.
bye.
Bye bye.